Of all the stars my mother worked with over the years, there was probably none bigger than Marilyn Monroe. And in those clips you saw from Bus Stop, Mom played Marilyn's best friend in the film. They had many scenes together. Mom had two sets of stories she would tell about Marilyn Monroe. The first set of stories went something like this. Marilyn? Huh. What do you want to know about her for? She wasn't an actress, she was a personality. Always coming to the set late, not knowing her lines. She could be a real pain in the ass if you want to know the truth. The second set of stories went something like this. Marilyn. What a sad, lonely, vulnerable lady. She never really believed that she was loved. Was constantly seeking approval. Desperate to have a child. Don't make me go on. To the day my mother died, she could never tell that set of stories about Marilyn Monroe without bursting into tears. And that's the side of Marilyn I want to focus on today. The softer, gentler Marilyn, if you will. They had many scenes together on location at the rodeo. I love this picture of the two of them in between takes, clutching their big glasses of ice water. And while they were shooting in the stands that day, Marilyn really started letting her hair down to my mother and talking about the many foster families she was bounced around to as a child. And at one point, Marilyn turned to my mother with tears in her eyes and said, there was this one foster family, and I really think they wanted to keep me. But they were already in their 60s and felt they were too old to have a small child. But when they sent me back to that orphanage, they gave me a little straw hat with a matching straw suitcase. That was the finest gift I was ever given in my entire life. I really think that old couple might have loved me. Marilyn also adored children. And my two older brothers, Mark and Philip, spent a lot of time hanging out on the set. Oh, she was crazy about those boys. And one of the things that Marilyn would do after a long day of shooting, she would take these oranges and grapefruits out of these gift baskets she was constantly being sent. And she would go out onto the balcony and call down to my brothers in the suite below. Mark, Philip, you want to play a game? You want to play catch? And Marilyn Monroe would play catch with my brothers on the balcony below, using citrus fruit as their only sports equipment. But at ages 2 and 4, they weren't very good catchers. So Mom would be in the other room on the phone with my father, and she'd say, oh, for God's sake, Marilyn's out there on the balcony playing catch with the boys again, and guess who's going to have her raggedy ass down at the pool at 2 a.m. picking up all those bloody grapefruits and oranges. I love this picture of Marilyn with my two brothers. It's become something of a family heirloom. And my brother Philip is the one in Marilyn's arms there. And if we just zoom in on him for a moment, see the way he's resting his elbow? All I'll say is that is one happy baby.